Trying it again. It's letting me go live, but only if I go live in a vertical orientation. And I know you are all somewhere else. So hopefully, I just got a notification that I'm live. I'm hoping that you also got the notification that I'm live. But this is truly totally bizarre. There's nobody in this room but me. Welcome to, I put it on hello. At last. This is crazy. It kept telling me I had the wrong orientation. Hi, Barbara. But the orientation was right. And when I tried to turn it to change the orientation, it wouldn't change it. I'm beginning to wonder if it's my old phone that's the problem. I think I may have to upgrade this phone. It is a 10, so it's quite old. But I just didn't really want to have to deal with that issue at this point. So I'm not sure. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to see you. I'm glad Sandy and Myra were able to get in. This is nuts. I've got all these 2-second lives. Yeah, it really is making me totally crazy. And I can't even put this in my tripod. So I have to hold this because it's plugged in because the phone was not charged enough at that point. This phone also runs extremely hot sometimes. Does that happen to any of you? Any of those of you who have iPhones? Because there are times when it's running so hot, I'm thinking it's going to burn out. I don't know. And I really wanted to talk to you about what a wonderful day today was. I had such a lovely day with my grandson, the younger one. He's in town with his mother, and I got to see him today, and we had lunch together. It was just great. It was it was as if no time had gone by. He is the sweetest, most caring young man. I made a dedicated video to that. I was actually trying to upload that earlier, but I was not able to finish it because a lot of it was done as I was driving in the car to meet him and then driving on the way home. And it was just way too long and way too boring. So I was trying to cut out a lot of the stuff, and I didn't get a chance to finish it before this. I'm really not clear on the best way to move ahead going forward because I don't know how to make this thing work. I just don't know how to make it work, trying to schedule it ahead of time. But I'm going to try to keep it at 8:30 Eastern Time on Wednesdays and see if that works for everybody. So let's try to do that. When I had gone to meet Dylan today, I had in mind, it really is so special, Barbara. It's great. I had in mind to go to this restaurant that I absolutely love. It's in a town right near where his other grandmother is, and it's called Crabtree. Has wonderful food. It's known as one of the 5 top restaurants on Long Island. But when he took a look at the menu, I think it seemed a little bit too esoteric to him. He was, what? What about watching an informative? I tried. I've tried that, Myra. Nothing has helped with this particular issue. I never had a problem before. I really never had any issues with this. Yeah, so I will take a look when this is over and we'll see. I'm going to let it play out as it plays out and we'll see how it goes. we wound up, I don't know if you know it, Sandy, having lived on the island, but you were in a different part. We wound up going to a restaurant called Jonathan's, and that was because his mother had recommended it. And I actually, the last time I remember being at Jonathan's was when Michelle, my daughter-in-law, had her baby shower there for her first son. And that was, he was born in 2001. So it tells you it was a really long time ago. I have to tell you, the food was incredible. The ambiance was great. The only thing that wasn't superb was the service. It was nice, but the guy that we had was really, really slow. So he disappeared for a long time. None of the food, well, but not true. I wound up getting, I thought they had unbelievable offerings for a lunch menu. They had a three-course dinner option with a lot of choices. I was almost going to get chicken parmesan, but I get that so often in the other place that I thought I would try something different. And hi. So I got pot roast. And the pot roast, they served it with mashed potatoes. I typically don't get mashed potatoes at a restaurant because they tend to taste very they tend to taste very generic, and they have that commercial kind of taste. This did not. And it was also beautiful. When I do my next video, I'll show some photos, the ones from today's lunch with Dylan. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was extremely good food. I had soup as the appetizer because I was afraid of a salad with my stomach feeling as bad as it has been. So they had today's soup. The soup of the day was, I guess it was a Greek soup. It was chicken soup with lemon, which typically is the way the Greeks make it. But it was, he forgot to tell me it was like a cream soup. And that was probably not the best option for somebody with a stomach issue. Dylan's 18, he's going to be 19. I couldn't believe my conversation with him was so incredible. He is talking about, he's the one who is a chef or becoming a chef. He's really good. I'll show you some of his offerings. I mean, he's a great baker and he's a really good cook. And he tries lots of new things. I told him he's going to be my go-to anytime I need help with cooking. And I'm really trying to play around with cooking a lot more. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I'm hoping that you know that I get to eat some better food finally. Oh, Barbara, it's been a nightmare. It has been a nightmare. Oh, does she make it? I really like the soup with lemon in it. This was very lemony, but it was very delicious. The problem was I had a stomach ache going in, so I was afraid of it. And of course, after the main course, they gave you a choice of four desserts. They had chocolate mousse, which is certainly an option that I would be inclined to try. They had, let's see, chocolate mousse. Oh, they had a fruit parfait, which I probably should have chosen because it was the healthy choice, but I did not. I wound up getting the waffle sundae, and we shared that. It was really good. So it was vanilla ice cream with fresh whipped cream, some chocolate syrup, and an actual piece of a waffle. That was very good. Dylan liked it a lot, and he's, because he does cook, he's, he's a little bit, I know I have to get the ginger pills. I never made it to the store today because I wound up having to go to meet him. But it was great. It was just such a wonderful day. And it was a day not having to think about any of the other stuff. Yeah, it's killing me too. This stomach thing is not fun. Not at all. I've tried I've tried going and doing a little bit of the Ubering and Grubhub and all of that, and it's been working okay for the most part. For the most part, there were a couple of really scary episodes that I had. One of the jobs, and again, I did a dedicated video on that I haven't had a chance to upload yet. But that one, I got one job. It paid $9. I think it was $9.78, something like that, from the Greek restaurant. And I went there to pick it up, and they don't tell you how many items you're getting until you get there. Typically, it'll be anywhere from 2 to say 7 items. This was 31 items. And I thought, oh dear God, what have I gotten myself into? 31 items. And I thought, well, maybe I'll be lucky and maybe it will turn out to be things like sauces or dips or things like that for some of it. No such luck. It turned out to be 31 items, 5 huge bags that filled my trunk from right to left all the way across. How can I do it? I I have to it's not easy. It's not, you really need a wagon. So fortunately for me, when I got to the house, I was really worried, thinking I'd have to make 5 trips up to her porch. But as it turned out, she came down from the porch and I said, I'm going to have to make a few trips with this. She said, oh, don't worry about it. It was embarrassing. She grabbed 5 huge, I swear to God, some of the bags were so heavy that carrying more than one would have been difficult. She took all 5 and she managed somehow to get back to her house. And she said that she hoped she ordered enough because she had a lot of people over. And I thought, oh dear God, if she had ordered any more, I would have just been, it would never have worked for me. I had that one, and the last job that I did that night was going to the same block, and I thought, oh no, I hope it's not to that house again. But it turned out that it was another guy. This one was just 2 bags. It was from a sushi place. And when I brought the stuff to him, he had his sprinklers on. He had a bluestone path and sprinklers on. Bluestone gets very, very slippery when it's wet. So that was not really a spectacular option. But once again, fortunately, he came out and he said he apologized and he turned the sprinklers off. That job was supposed to pay $7 and change. But it takes a while on that particular app, that was the Uber app, for it to show up because the tip doesn't show up right away. So, about an hour later, it showed up that instead of the original tip that was going to be $5, he gave me an extra $10. So he wound up giving me a $15 tip plus the $2 and change that the company pays you. So it wound up being $17 and change, and that was great. I was really grateful for it. So yeah, that was a good thing. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit today. This is not going to be as long as my typical ones because I'm not able to use the tripod to hold this thing, and it's getting awkward holding it. That was really nice, the $15 tip. And he was a nice guy. I've met some really nice people this way. I also find since I started to walk with my cane that people have been very kind by and large. They really have, very accommodating, and lots of people offer to help. So I'm happy about that because I really need to do whatever I can do. I had wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the stuff that I've been watching, though, on the streaming services. I think it's Tubi, but I'm not 100% sure that I've watched this series. I think it might be called Dear America. Has anybody watched that? What I started to do was one night when I couldn't sleep, I had put something else on and it hi. It keeps playing other things, and yeah, I know. What am I going to do? Sheila's not here. She probably couldn't find it. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I can do that. I loved the series, Myra. I absolutely loved it. It had so many different episodes from the early times, episodes that started out in the old country and wound up showing people coming over here. It showed it from the point of, no, I really don't do that, Amir. I really don't. Sorry. Happy to have you watch if you like to, but I really don't do that. So, okay. They had one episode where it was people coming from Ireland, and another episode where it was the people who had come here as slaves, and another one was I think it was the Irish one where when they got to this country that they well, I didn't see the whole thing because part of it I slept through, but I'm going to have to rewatch some of these things. But if any of you can find a series and you have not watched it up to now, I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Oh, I just got a notification that Grubhub is opening some blocks. I did a block. I don't typically do them because it commits me to doing it, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So, but the one that I did, I want to say yesterday, it was 2 hours, and it was pretty good because I mean I wound up staying on for much longer than 2 hours, but I think I wound up making about 60 some odd dollars on that, plus a little bit on Uber, so it was better, and it helped start to watch the next thing. Yeah, what happens is it automatically plays from one to the next. And when I fall asleep in the chair, which is almost every night, I wake up, I start getting interested in something, I watch it for a while. Sometimes I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes and then I will fall asleep again. But this was a wonderful, wonderful series. The next time I come on, I'll make sure that I take a look at it and see if that in fact was the actual name of the series. But it was very well acted and I loved it. I will definitely go back and watch more if there is more to watch. So I have to see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of, it's really hard for me to focus on this because there were so many things I wanted to talk to you about. It's a free download. I think it was on Tubi. I can't swear to it, but I think it was on Tubi. And I've watched so many movies. I will only watch the movies that are free. Some of them require you to buy it or rent it or subscribe to the channel, and I'm not going to do that. I think it's on Tubi, Myra. I think that was the streaming service. Tubi. T as in Tom, U, B as in boy, I. I just found it recently. I had no knowledge of that one. I have it, it shows up on my, I have the Echo Show, the 15-inch Echo Show, and that's what I use as my television most of the time now. I used to use the television when I slept in the bedroom, but now that I'm in, on the chair most of the time, I am, I'm watching on there. It's it's really good quality picture. It's high definition and it works extremely well for me. It also serves so many other purposes because it does my Amazon stuff. Oh, speaking of which, I, you just use the iPad. Um, yeah, I really haven't been using the iPad that much. I spend so much time on that Echo Show. It's really great. But I started to say, when I started to do a little bit of the air frying, I wanted to make the sweet potato fries again. And I did start to make them, could not cut them. I don't have a French fry cutter. I do have a mandolin, but I could only do the chips on that. So I bought a knife. I couldn't spend a lot of money for a knife, but I wound up getting a chef's knife, and it was, I think it's called something shark. I did this the last time. It begins with an M, the first word, short word, but it's a pretty good knife. And I wound up being able to cut the sweet potato with that. It's still not easy. Sweet potatoes are very hard and very hard. Yeah, I don't watch any of those things. I really don't. I don't even miss it. I don't even think about it. On YouTube, I used to watch, and especially, during the whole period of time before the elections, I used to watch a lot of MSNBC. And so I watched a lot of that kind of stuff, and there were a lot of different people that I watched on there. But typically now it's strictly that stuff, and I do not miss the other stuff at all. This I find very relaxing, and yeah, I think they priced themselves out of the market because they were just getting so greedy and they were charging more and more and more and giving you less for what you got. It just was not worth it anymore. So I'm perfectly happy to do what I'm doing. I just have to be able to get the cable boxes back to optimum. I'm even thinking of, I have T-Mobile for my phone service, but Optimum is T-Mobile, and Optimum has some special things going with T-Mobile. I know it doesn't last forever, but I may switch through them because if they still have the special, you put dumb reality on the reality shows. Is that what you're talking about? I used to watch the reality TV shows. I don't watch them anymore. I didn't have any patience for them anymore. And the people were getting so far out. that I couldn't do it. It just was not worth it for me. But this distraction, oh, I started to watch another old, old TV series. I must have been, I'm thinking the late 50s, early 60s, maybe. I think it might have been called Dear Secretary. Does anybody remember that show? And you would think from that time that it would be so dated that it really wouldn't have any relevance and it wouldn't wear well over time. I love it. I really love it. The shows are great. The acting was really good. Dr. Pimple Popper. My friend Alinda used to watch Dr. Pimple Popper all the time. There are so many things that make me think of Linda every day. Every day. I pass the street that she lived on all the time. And I can't stop thinking about her. It's really, it's so hard losing people that you care about. It really is. It's like the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And unless we reach out, I think it's difficult. By the way, it was interesting. They had a social worker talk to me at one point because I had said, yeah, I had said that I had been really depressed and I wasn't feeling well. And the social worker had asked me if I take any antidepressants, and I said no, that I never had, and I wouldn't be inclined to do that because number one, I had friends who have taken it, and it made them more depressed. They said actually as time went on, but I haven't done that because my feeling is I would rather deal with the problem and try to resolve whatever the issue is than to try to mask it with medication. That is not the person that I am. So she said to me, would you be willing to talk to somebody then? And I said, sure, I'm willing to do anything. I didn't realize by saying that I guess I was signing up for therapy. And this person called me to set up an appointment. And I said, something about, she was talking about scheduling, and I said, well, how often is this? And she said, every week. I said, every week? That was not at all what I thought. I thought they just wanted me to talk to somebody once or twice and see if I could kind of come to terms with some of the stuff that was making my life even more difficult right about now. So I spoke to her on Monday, and I actually enjoyed it so much that I'm looking forward to talking to her next week. We'll see how it plays out. You can stop at any time, so that's okay, but I'm kind of looking forward to it because I think sometimes you just need to be able to talk to somebody. And now that, as I say, my friends are thinning out, it's becoming harder and harder to just pick up the phone and talk to somebody. So I'll see how it plays out, but I'm willing to give it a try. I'm really willing to give all of it a try. Yeah, I think having a place to vent is a good thing too, because I'm not one to do that a whole lot generally, but you can't bottle things up forever because it's going to kill you. The stress is horrific. And I find working is a really, really good thing for me because it's distracting and it is solving some of the small problems. So I'm grateful for that. And no, yeah, I'm willing to see where it takes me. I think you're right, Barbara. I think women are good talkers. Yeah. when you work, you are very much involved in whatever the current thing is. So it doesn't give you time to sit and worry or I literally have become shaky, and that's not who I am typically. And I don't want to be that person. I want to be able to. Um, she said, "What do you think about it?" I said, "Well, you're the doctor. What do you think about it?" Oh, oh, yeah, trying to solve I also find whenever I can be there for somebody else, helping them solve their problems, my life is so much better. It just is so meaningful for me. I was telling the people from Meals on Wheels with that program I told you that they started with the friendly visitors that I really want to do that myself when I'm well enough to go out there and do it because if you, oh, you're talking about speaking to a therapist, Sandy? Is that what it was? I think they often do want you to come up with the solution. I'm not sure. You know, the best thing for me was when my brother Marty was alive because Marty was a therapist, but he never talked to me that way. He was just my brother and a wonderful brother. And just having the conversations that was so great. And because he was so grounded in that area, it really made it so much easier for me. And he understood so much of what I was about and what I was going through. And he told me very often that he thought that I was handling things extraordinarily well. So I was happy about that. Yeah, I mean, this is not something that I've done any time in my adult life. I did do it for a short period of time when I was a teenager because at one point, I had panic attacks and I really needed to deal with it, but not as an adult. And I'm finding myself, I don't know, do we regress as we get older and things get tougher? I think for those of us who have more of a framework of people around us, if we have family around us, and I know, Sandy, you said many times that it can be really lonely with family around too, because everybody's living their own life. But still, there are people there. You're not alone. And that's gotta make it easier on some level, I would have to think. I don't know. So, I don't know. I remember my friend Linda, always years ago, Linda's great plan for the future was to win the lottery and buy a commune and have all of her friends live in the commune in separate places. Actually, they did start to build those kind of things, not a commune per se. Oh, that's interesting. A picture just came up on my show, which I have a pass through from the kitchen to the dining room, and I have one show up here and one downstairs. And the picture that just came up was made me smile. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I'm game to try anything. I'm also wanting so much. It's just knowing there's somebody in the next room that's so true. That really is so true, Sandy. Knowing there's somebody in the next room. I remember even when David lived here many, many years ago, I didn't see that much of him. He certainly had a busy life that didn't include me, which was the way it should be. But when he was home, he was there. And there was something about another person being there. I mean, right now, I feel as if, thank God I have Ruby. Oh, by the way, that's another thing. I was thinking, I'm not sure I'm going to do it because I could be really bad at it. I need to groom her. It's time. And I was thinking of, I want to kind of do a little bit with her face because she's starting to get scruffy looking. I was thinking of actually videoing it while I did it. Do you think anybody would be interested in seeing it if I did that? Because I thought it might be fun. And if it goes well, I would have something to refer back to the next time I do it. But just having her here and knowing she's here with me makes a difference. It really does. There's something about being totally alone, especially if you don't feel well, especially if you're going through difficult times and you feel terribly stressed. Just having somebody to bounce things off of helps. Yeah, I would think, Sandy, that a lot of people would think that you would see them every day living there. Yeah, I think, but in a way, isn't it better that way? Because it gives you a chance to have your own life as well as them have their own life. But at the same time, it must give your daughter a lot of peace knowing that you're right there. So if you need her, she's right there. And that's a gift. So yeah, I would love to have that. Sandy says, yes, they annoy me. I am repeating this only because I don't know if the chat on replay is going to show up. It shows up for me, but apparently that's been an issue too. I never had any of these issues that I'm having now with YouTube. It is either my phone or it's something that they changed on their end, or it's one of the updates. Something's gone awry and I'm running into problems because I've done, I think, over 500 videos and I never had an issue. I never had that. I think it is a good thing, Barbara. They come in and eat your chocolate stuff. Is that the kids or the parents? That's really funny. Oh, I just noticed I had food on my tooth. Excuse me a second. Well, that's nice. This is going to be great on replay. Okay. Um, yeah, there is that. And then there's also the kind of situation where I know they text you from next door. With Linda, she had a couple of roommates. So she had people in the house, and then she had her daughter living downstairs. You can't see replay. You can see replay, but you can't see the chat on replay. Maybe this time it'll work. I mean, I've done the same thing every single time. What is this thing? There's something new that they put on. I think it's new. It's called Top Fans. Oh, I think it has to do with the people who interact as much. Let me click it. Oh, it's showing top fans. All right. I'm afraid to take a screenshot of this that I'll lose the whole thing. So we'll see. But okay, that's what it is. Yeah, they keep changing the things. Um, right. So there were so many things I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going to have to start to make lists because with all these things going wrong, it makes it difficult for me. I keep trying to put out fires as this thing goes, so we shall see. What I'm trying to do also is to enjoy my summer as much as I can because at the end of the summer I have my scan and I will probably have things to deal with at that point. So I don't want to think about that at all. I want to function as long as I'm able to function and see where it goes. I have no control over so much of this. So that is it. I think I'm going to end it a little bit early today because my arm is starting to kill me. I'm resting it on the chair and holding the phone up, but this is not the way to make this work. I have 2 videos to upload. Um, oh yes, yeah, I definitely want to do the one about aging. Yeah, that one was really good, and I'm wholly in line with it, and I think a lot of people will be. So yeah, but I have 2 videos that I already have that I just have to edit or finish editing and upload, and I'm going to try, so count on it. I will try to make this thing work, but I will try to, I'm gonna try to be on every Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern time, so you can count on that time. And that way, just know that I will do a live, unless I let you know ahead of time if something comes up and I'm not able to do it on a particular day. That's one thing. But yeah, so there are so many. Oh, nobody answered about the grooming Ruby. What do you think in terms of videoing it? Do you think that would be of any interest? There's a hot spell. They actually said today it was 90 something degrees. It was really comfortable in the car. The Tesla has really good air conditioning. It eats up a lot of juice, but it's well worth it. It did say there was a heat advisory today, and yeah, it has been. It has been. Yeah, I think it might be. Oh, okay. It seemed to engage that top fans thing. Barbara, do you see it on your end where it shows a crown next to your name, right next to your chat? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to stay safe. And I do, even with all of the juice that all of these things in the car. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I think it might be fun. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, it's a brand new thing they're doing. So it has to do with interacting with the video. So that's all that's about. There are a couple of things on the side that I would love to tap and figure out what they are, but I am not going to touch anything because I'm afraid of this thing at this point. It is, you want a crown? Oh, you can get a crown. You interact a lot. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you definitely deserve your crown. So yeah, I'm going to do all of that, and I'm going to hopefully get those other videos loaded, and I will see you in between. Sorry, this one is a little fouled up again. Yeah, I'm sure next time your crown will be sitting perfectly perched on your head. So thanks for coming by. I'm glad that you were able to find me. It looked like I was hiding out, but I have to figure out why it wouldn't let me do the horizontal. We have to get more owls in here, right? It's been a while. It's my fault because I stepped away, so I need to kind of rebuild that, and it's going to take time. But I'm enjoying the process. I hope those of you who come by do, and we'll see what happens. So if people know ahead of time, maybe it's going to make it easier. I know Ange likes to be on when she can be, but I hate for her to be up that late all the time because she just does not get enough sleep. Okay, yeah, do check and see if the chat shows. I'm definitely going to look up that thing on Tubi, see where else Tubi is available. I don't know if anybody has any interest in the Echo Show, the 15. They have a 15-inch and a 21-inch. They're not the cheapest things on the market, but I got mine when it was on sale for a lot less. And I know Prime Day just passed, but they do run sales, and certainly by around Thanksgiving when they do all those sales, it's a it's a great thing. It really is a great thing. I love everything that it does. I can ask it all kinds of questions and it answers me and it runs my shopping list for me, my doctor's appointments. It even reminds me to take out the trash. So it's a good assistant and it's somebody to talk to when none of you are around. So I do like it. And Tubi is definitely on there, but I will check and see where else it is. And I'll let you know which channels, which things are on. But I have been totally enjoying it. All right, I'm going to go and I will catch up with you next time and look for the next video to be uploaded hopefully by tomorrow. I am going to, hopefully, if I'm well enough, work tomorrow, and I have been trying to video a little bit of that because I think that that's something interesting. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Have a good night.